welcome everybody to the Grand Prix of Suzuka for Formula students. It's gonna be a stunning race again. The championship leader winning both races last time out, and this is obviously going to be a spectacular circuit, spectacular drivers. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, on last place we have Van der Salm, then 18th place Dawar, 17th is being Stark, then 16th Thomas Kane, Javé Elguera, Frank Dapper, Edwin von Zweigberg, Miele on 12th, Patarozzi on 11th, Bettings in the top 10. Just before him we have Boidello, then Niemi on 8th, Sasbo 7th, Correa 6th, Brendan Pierce on 5th, Elias Hawk on the second row alongside Lozzi, and then on the front row we have Guus Doremalen and Jason Milanov on pole position.
As we're now on the grid, all cars ready and lined up. We're gonna hear the engines roar any second now for the Suzuka Grand Prix here in Japan. Everyone ready, everyone warming up their tires just on the grid. The engine's gonna scream any second now. As it's pedal to the metal, go, go, go. There's a great stuff from Milanov. Doremalen knocking in great, and Lozzi going side by side. There's a bit of contact from Doremalen there. Milanov going wide and losing a lot of positions out of turn 1 and turn 2. Not great what they expect, and Doremalen running away with the lead. Lozzi being in second and Hulk being in third, having a mega start there from him as well. Great start out of everyone except Milanov, who had a bit of a squirm there with Doremalen and going wide.
Oh, dream start for Van Doremalen, obviously. I think you see your championing rival going off, and now he's in 12th position. No, is he even lower? He's in 5th position. Yeah, that's a lot of places to make good, and it's not a long circuit. It has quite long straights, but I don't think Doremalen will give this up. He is fast though, Milanov. He is fast. Lozzi also following really close behind, and Hawk as well. Oh, as we see now, Boledo. Oh, pitting in the last chicane. Again losing quite a lot of positions. Oh, and again contact on that rejoin. That's not good. And we see more chaos in the background with almost 2 overtakes.
Yeah, this race start being incredibly crazy with our leaders spinning out, having an incident turn 1, losing a few positions down in P5 now. So gone on board now, round turn 10 and 11. Really difficult to get a spot here as Pierce takes too much gas and spins it round. Does he keep the car facing right way? It feels like he does it. And Milanov up to P4, as we saw also at the end of lap 1. A bit of incidents at the back between, I believe there was Melde and Greta, and Bodello also having a bit of a squirm there. Also, this track being really long, and compared to the other tracks, only having 21 laps around here, not compared to the others, 25 to 30 laps. As this just, you have to keep your concentration, and after lap 1, where everything goes, oh no, as everything goes sideways, as some goes sideways out of the spoon corner, out of turn 13. That's not a corner where you want to spin out, as you need all the straight line speed for that long straight, with 130R also being part of that straight. And Suzuka being in a historic track, and here is season 4 around for Formula Student GP. All points are needed, so we gotta see how each driver handles this pressure now as the season goes on, as the points start to settle down.
Yeah, indeed, and disappointing start for Sabo and Bodello, starting 7th and 9th. So I think they will want to make some places back, and so does Jason Milanov, our championship leader at the moment, winning the last 2 races. He is on fire, and is closing down with Elias Hook for that podium position. He's not yet close enough, but I guess in a lap or 2 he's gonna be right on his rear wing. I think he's gonna be sniffing it like cocaine.
Yeah, I mean, these cars having huge wings and also the massive amounts of downforce. You can just follow the car, just nice and light, as you see on board with Milanov, just how he fights the car, looking at the curves, how he just eats the curves, how the car just handles it, as Hawk goes a bit more safer with just next to the curbs. Now going round turn 8 and 9. Bit difficult, but everyone keeps it tight, and just the gap went down, up from 8 tenths down to 4 tenths. Right on that rear wing. The only thing you see with these huge car rear wings is that rear wing. What a great exit from Milanov out of turn 11. Now turn 12. Now the spoon corner. Normally being very big, but now with this track it's being very small, more like a hairpin. Let's see what Milanov can bring out. 130R. He has the slipstream. He has the straight line speed advantage. 130R stays behind. It's gonna now come up to the hairpin. Goes down the inside. Makes himself look in the mirrors of this car. Gets a great exit onto the start-finish straight, the side-by-side, end of lap 4. Going into turn 1, who's gonna get the better, who's gonna be more aggressive on the brakes? Looks like it's Hoke, but Milanov still side-by-side and gets on the inside line for turn 4.
Wow.
And gets it done.
Wow, yeah, great move from Milanov. Just closing in, putting that pressure, waiting for the mistake of Hoke. And that mistake came in the at the chicane. Making a little dive, getting some room for himself, and then getting the better exits. Putting himself alongside, and then making the move stick around the outside. Remember, that move didn't work on the opening lap with Van Doremalen touching him. And him, yeah, then also getting on the grass, so it was a risky move for him.
Now we're back here. Down in P13 with Bordello, who had a bad start. He starting P9, now down to P13. Dapper maybe having a look, gaining a bit of time. There's, Bordello went a bit wide, turn 11, that sharp hairpin. As also up ahead we see the cars for P11, Dawad and Sabo fighting hard for P11 as Dawad has a great start. He's starting from P18, going up to P11.
Oh yeah, indeed. Great move. Last race as well. He, I think he just finished he just finished just outside the points. But now doing really good 12th position again. Maybe even closing down. If he can keep Bordello behind, of course.
That was a mistake from Dawa. In the final sec, there was a mistake. He's lost a bit of time as he spins it round and turn in the center. Is that something you don't want to see? This fast section, left, right, and he just loses the position. We praised him for having a mega start, and now it's down in P16. Luckily faced it in the right direction soon enough, and Bordello gets that position down for P12 as Dapper. Now again, being really close as Alguera. Back in on his rear wing, these huge fans on the back for extra downforce. You just see how the cars follow each other with immense grip. As I said, also last race, there's a car round. That's Brandon Pierce, no, the Bettings, I believe that is round.
Oh.
Something you don't want to see. Obviously, sector 1, I believe, is the most difficult one on this track with all the close corners. Left, right. You just have to get the grip level correctly. You have to get the tire window correctly. And you just have to have your concentration at the right amount of time, at the right amount of speed. As some drivers have shown us that one mistake can cost you everything. As Milanov right now in P3, trying to catch Lozzi, trying to get back in P2 and maybe have a chance to Doremalen, who's already 2 seconds up the road, leading comfortably as his championship rival here is down to P3. We heard him winning 2 races, the last 2 races. Back to back, and Doremalen having won Bahrain season round 1.
Race.
So these two are just crazy fighting. It's round 4, so there's only a 4th round of this championship, being two wins on Milanov's name and 1 on Doremalen. So that's really close on the championship. The only thing that hurts him was the one mistake in Saudi Arabia where he finished down in P4, losing out on a bit of points, and that hurts us on the championship battle. But seeing that his rival now having a bad race in Suzuka now, that's gonna have great chances for the championship battle.
Yeah, indeed. Sometimes it's also luck. He had some bad luck with back markers. First up, with Milanov coming really close at rear ring. I think he might even try to go for a move there. Really weird. But indeed, and sometimes you just need some luck. Milanov now having bad luck also makes the championship closer again, because Doremalen was first in the race in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I mean, mistakes can cost you so much time. Dordeman having done the mistake a bit later in Saudi Arabia, having cost not enough time to catch up a little, only managed to get P4. Milanov having the advantage, and his mistake was right at the beginning of the race, so he has enough time to catch all the time lost, as he's already under the half a second of Lozzy Lozzy, as Lozzy Lozzy in the last lap has made a mistake around the spoon curve. Really wide, as Milanov took that chance. He said even wanting to go for a move. Let's see this lap what Milanov advantage is, as Milanov is one with the car, having just great responsibility with the car, just not having any problems, just sticking it everywhere, turning earlier than everyone else, just managing that grip as he goes side by side through the spoon corner. Side by side as he managed to get the move down before 130R. Is Lozzy Lozzy maybe gonna have a look? It looks like they're still side by side, and Milanov is past.
Oh, great move by Milanov. A little bit of a mistake by Lozzy Lozzy again, putting under pressure. These cars are not easy to drive. It's easy to make a slight mistake, and Milanov capturing on it. Also, I must say, these curbs on the inside are really slippery. You have to really be careful. You have to know which one you can and can't ride. Because as you saw earlier on the with Brendan Pierce spinning on the inside curve, and other drivers as well spinning on those inside curves like the war. And then indeed you lose a lot of time. Lozzy Lozzy also again, I think he just went a little bit wide from going out on that curve, and then you lose the positions. Really disappointing from the war, but now again up to 14th position, so that's a good race. Now we see Kane trying to close down on Sabo for 10th place. That is for a point. I think it's going to be his first points of the season. Really good.
Yeah, we gotta see what Kane can bring in today's race, as he's fighting for that point, his first point of the season. Obviously, really, the 1 point, if you can get, is something you want to always look out for. Always your biggest achievement of a racing driver is your first point in a season. So we're gonna see how Kane manages to put this pressure down on Sabo, who had a few mistakes, starting P7, dropping down to P10. And also here now, a battle for P3, as Lozzy Lozzy looks like is still under pressure now from Hoke as well. We saw that with the pressure from Milanov, couldn't handle well. Hoke pushing it wide, going out of turn 9. The two double right-handers, you gotta get them right. Usually on the correct, the big circuit, you go inside turn 8 and then take turn 9 as fast as possible. But here on the smaller GPK circuit, you gotta go wide in turn 8 and take all the inside in turn 9. As now the grid has started to go wide a little, as Kane has lost a position to Mir in P12. Must have been a mistake from his side there. There's been a bit of internet issues on Patarozzi's side. Hope he can fix it soon, catching two betting, so you don't want to see some alien activity from the car behind. So we go now back onto Kane, who has lost a position on Mir. I believe it was a mistake in Sector 1, as you said, Niels, Sector 1 always being very difficult with all the curbs. You don't know which curbs you can take and which curbs you can't take. So we see that the mistakes are bound to happen in Sector 1.
Yeah, exactly, indeed. It's not an easy track. Melbourne was a bit easier, I think, but this one really hard to drive. Now again, Hawk closing in. That gap was 1.1 seconds. Now only 0.7 now. He's closing in on Lozzy Lozzy, and he's closing in fast. He smelled that podium. He didn't have a podium this season yet. Lozzy Lozzy did have. Oh no, Saudi Arabia did have the podium. Last race he didn't. He was fourth. Bahrain he also was fourth. Yeah, Lozzy Lozzy is his closest rival this championship. As Lozzy Lozzy also now having some trouble with back markers. Ooh, and Hawk also having back and someone off. Oh, it's all kicking off here. Only 0.6 seconds now. If you can get a good run through the S's, I think he might be set up for that back straight at the end of the lap.
As now we've seen some pit stops going played, as I believe that's Kane there going wide in turn 9, going on the grass setting all these cars too, as Frank Dapper now also in the battle of the lapped cars. Let's see if Hulk can get an advantage here on Lozzy. Now the gap only being 3 tenths, taking the inside line as you see faster for these cars. So Lozzy still taking that outside line, that alternative line. Lozzy getting with that outside line, the better exit, which is really helpful for this back straight. Now 130R, really small corner on GPK track here. Really interesting to see how these cars as Lozzy jumps in the pit lane. I believe that's going to be a tactical move for the undercut. Seeing now later where that comes out, as I've said before at the start of this lap, that pit stops are now starting to play a big role. We're gonna see maybe if Milanov and Doremalen, even it's just a 2-second gap on this GPK track. The 2 seconds are a massive amount of time, and we're gonna see if the pit stop battle can bring something else here. Maybe the undercut having a better chance, or the overcut working better. As Milanov has the pace advantage, gaining 2 tenths now with this lap on Doremalen, but Doremalen having a bit of issues with lap back markers, so we're gonna see how he just handles these cars here. Obviously, bit difficult with the dirty air of this huge rings, basically creating so much disturbance that following the cars is just basically not possible. But with these amount of grip, these go-kart tires, softer than any rubber you can imagine, is Doremalen flies into the pits, now taking that undercut on Milanov. Milanov looking to barging up his pit stop strategy a bit longer as Hulk also jumps in the pits. I see Lozzy where he comes out, out of for P3. That's gonna be a great, interesting battle. As Lozzy now on the straight, the back straight, start finish right, gets the position, and Hulk coming out now of the pits, losing a lot of time. That's looks like the undercut is the stronger strategy on this track, showing us that Doremalen maybe has a pit stop advantage.
Yeah, I think from Lozzy, that is a poker move, I guess. If you see the car behind, you're gonna get stressed, you're gonna look behind, you're gonna lose some time. And I think he was, no, I'm not doing this. I'm coming into the pits. I want some free air. I want no one behind. I want to have my full head to push. And also, for Hulk, if you have someone to look out for, you can push just a little bit harder. And that's also a disadvantage if you have no one in front of you. What's your reference point? As you now see Doremalen having some traffic with the back markers. Milanov in the pit lane. We're gonna see where he comes out. Van Doremalen still comfortably ahead by 2.7 seconds. This undercut is really working. I think the tires started to go away a little bit. And Van Doremalen also having a bit of breathing room, so I don't think he's pushing that much for now, but it's still 5 laps, 5 tenths a lap. It is possible for Milanov. He is really quick.
We might see a battle here between Milanov and Doremalen if Milanov's pace keeps this up, 2 times to 3 times a lap. If he manages to keep up this pace and Doremalen does make a mistake at the end of this race, only 5 laps to go, there might be a battle for first place for the championship, as well as if Doremalen gets edging his way closer in the points to Milanov, who as well got the more wins on the board. Doremalen if Doremalen wins this today, he's gonna be on par with Milanov's race wins. Not only that, one mistake in Saudi Arabia costing him that point, those precious points I just really want to keep in this championship, as the races just go by so fast. It's basically a sprint race at this point with 21 laps and not even 50 seconds per lap. This is just interesting to see as how much that time you can gain, as Milanov has lost out a bit at the end of last lap in this sector, losing out 1/10, as I believe if this keeps up, Doremalen is comfortably gonna win the race as long as there are no mistakes. As Bettings are now in the pits, going for a late stop here, probably for a really aggressive stint now, for I believe 9th place is where he comes out. The closest battle here is still being for 3rd between Hulk and Lozzy. Obviously these championship rivals for 3rd place in the championship being a great position that you want to be in, as Lozzy and Hulk keep trading that podium place in the races. We gotta see who gets the upper hand here today in Suzuka in this Japanese Grand Prix. But it looks like Lozzie just having that upper hand, being up ahead. Obviously, can make your opponent behind. I have fake hope that if you show him that your lines are different, maybe you think I can push a bit more. I can show that I have the pace, and then the next lap you just run away, put the sandbags off the car, and run.
Yeah, indeed, but Lozzie having a really good race as well. Really surprised by that move from the pit stop, also really working out. And I can't be biased, but I secretly hope he gets that podium position again. Also, Bettings and Sabo now being back in points position after having a quite disappointing start to the race, being in 14th position. Now Sabo again in 8th position. Bodelo still in 12th. Gain not really far from Patarozzi from that 10th place that he so desperately wants. 1.5 seconds. I don't think he's going to be close enough. But who is going to be close enough is Milanov, I think. Only 1.6 seconds. He is quite a lot faster. He is, I think, around 4/10 a lap faster than Van Doornbalen right now. You can see him already on track. It's not far. It's not far. And you know, those two drivers, they rarely make mistakes. They are on edge, they are the fastest of the pack by quite a lot. But that said, it's never guaranteed that you don't make a mistake. It's the margins are quite tiny. And now only 1.3 seconds. In the beginning of the lap this was 1.6, 1.2. He is getting closer, it's coming down to that final lap, I think. What do you think?
I believe so that the gap, that this battle might get out in the final lap. Obviously that first lap incident between these two showing us some great banter. Also that they push their shoulders as far as possible, showing who is the fastest, who has the track advantage. But Milanov just not giving up, going closer and closer, inching his way closer every lap. The start of this lap was now 1.2. Now it's not even a second. Let's see if it goes under the second. So it's a bit of back markers, which really helping here. I believe that's a battle for 15. Milanov is off! Milanov is off! Zweigberg has pushed him off. That's what I mean with the back markers. You can't really always push us. I believe Lozzie now we saw on the picture right there. Let's see how Milanov handles with this damage, having no rear end, seeing through turn 11, just how much he slides. So this battle for second now opens up greatly. This is interesting to see now that the championship battle from Doornbalen now hoping that Lozzie and Hulk behind can do anything about this. And we just gonna see if Milanov can bring it on track. Obviously, this track being quite on the longer side, as now we cross the final lap. Doornbalen has crossed the final lap, so let's see this action on the final lap as Hulk, Lozzie and Milanov open for the P2 battle. Hulk being at the behind of the pack, seeing everything unfold. Obviously now the back markers playing a huge role on this ending stage, this dying stage of this race, as Lozzie has done a mistake there in sector 1, losing 3/10. Hulk there losing out on turn 7, going a bit wide, and I believe Lozzie now. Lozzie! That's a back marker round! That's a back marker round. Lozzie has lost a bit of time, as you see that going close together. Now onto the grass. Hulk has to take it onto the grass as any nowhere else. And this battle for third now. Wow! What's happening here in second sector? Doornbalen crosses the final corners, goes round the final corner, onto the final start finish right, and crosses the line for that victory. Great race on Doornbalen, really well deserved. Milanov said he couldn't attack after that first lap incident. Crosses the line in P2, well done on him as well. Obviously well done. Lozzie in P3 and Hulk in P4. Great battle for these as well. Brendan Pierce, I believe, still in the 130R corner, as these top 4 has just made such a huge lead. Now Brendan Pierce going around the final corner, crossing the line now out for P5. Great race from him as well, keeping it out of any trouble. Correa having a not as good qualifying. I believe it was down in P8, crossing out in P6, great race from him as well. Niemi and Sabo had a race which went up and down with Sabo and Bettings having that squirm in lap 1 and spinning. Niemi now crossing the line for P7. Sabo still going now final corner. Great race from him, getting back from P8, from P7 now P8, losing 1 position. Not that bad. Bettings getting P9 respectfully, and Patarozzi in the final sector now. Great race from them as they're gonna enjoy this end of the Suzuka race. Patarozzi jumping in the pits, probably doing again a Schumacher as we saw in Melbourne, just going in the pits. As this spectacular Suzuka race comes to an end, now we're going to see the top 10 of this race. Dora Malin having a great race round here, Suzuka winning the race. Milanov getting 2nd place after having a good qualifying, a bad race finishing 2nd. Lozzi staying in 3rd and Hoke staying in 4th. Pierce getting P5 respectfully and Correa P6. Niemi 7th and Sabo 8th with that spectacular effort from his side with that spin. Bettings also having issues on lap 1, having lost a few positions, going up to P9 and finishing respectively in 9th. Patarozzi in place 10 and Kane in 11th. Seeing that we have for Niels, him being the driver of the day, having the most action on track. Bodelo in P12, Mielde in P13 and Zweigberg in P14. Dapper up in P15 and Alguera in P16. Dawar, great race from him, starting P18, getting now up to getting P17 there, and Sa in P18, and Stark ending our grid here, P19. So this is the end of Suzuka. Next race we will see you in China, the Shanghai circuit. See you there.